hentai, horror and hentai, horror and hentai, horror and hentai. Wow! I made a part 2! And it's mostly because I didn't have anything else to do. What is going on, everybody? The RedSon lives, and you're probably noticing the new getup. Yeah, I found something. I used whatever little knitting abilities that I had, and I put it up. I got a new thing. I got a new setup going. I feel like this is a temporary fix, mostly because this is not all of my thing. And I need to add a few more details right here, because with just this on, I look like a discount Peter Parker before he got funding. With this on, I don't know, I feel like the bad guy from the Mad Max movie that came out a little bit ago. But without these, the holes on it look super creepy looking. So, like, yeah, that's a little weird. So I'm keeping it right here. You may notice there's a little slit right there. I'll fix that because I know a little bit of sewing. So now, due to me not having anything else to do and the slight guilt of me having a day called Horror and HeNtAi, where the only thing that I talked about was horror. And even on that note, it was a lot of mainstream horror, kind of stuff that you see people cosplaying as, and then everybody immediately points them out and says, "Oh shit! Is that Jason Voorhees?" And then there's a lot of the people. On that note, I'm gonna cover the most generic hentai that I can find, mostly because it's the stuff that I started out with like a true man. And you can't have epic gamer gear without having the appropriate knowledge of the swag that you accumulate. Horror and HeNtAi Part 2. Ugly Bastard Edition. I have rehearsed that name for a while, and the more I say it, the worse it gets. But that's what it is. Fuck you. I do what I want. This is my channel. You know. And I'm gonna do it. He's gonna do it. Alright. First thing on my list is something that pretty much if you're familiar with any anime tubers, any anitubers in general, or you just decide to go against the grain and look it up for yourselves, you naughty sinners. Jesus is watching, and he's probably applauding you. Just gets my biscuits and all you are out there sinning. On that note, here's my in-depth review of a certain well-known HeNtAi, because I can't say the actual name because of copyright reasons. On that note, I am not monetized, and I don't give a fuck. So, I'm gonna say hentai as much as I want without copyright claims. Eat a dick, corporate. I breathe a lot and it fogs up these goggles. It's awesome. It's like the less I can see, the more passionate I am. Or I'm about to have an asthma attack. I don't have asthma, but you never know. It could come behind you and fuck your day up. Now the first one on my list, Itataki Siki. I'm probably saying the name wrong because, as you can tell by this luscious neck reveal, neck reveal, how scandalous. I'm white. I don't exactly speak Japanese, and if you are white and speak Japanese, you better have a doctorate, otherwise you are going to weeb hell. On that note, it is probably the most memed hentai to ever exist, and I understand why. Now I'm gonna get on down to a little bit of storytelling. Back to the days of wee RedSon, back when I was a red dwarf. You see, when I first discovered these, I was about 15 years old. A wee lad. Back in my motherland of America. I still live in America, but I was in a different part of it. back there in the homeland. As a matter of fact, it's probably like 10 miles from where I am right now. But that doesn't matter. What really matters is that an impact it had on me. I watched the first 10 minutes of it and then decided I had better things to do. And then I went to school the next day and could not get it out of my mind for the life of me. And that's how I came to obsess over a vampire succubus. Beauty. God, I hope nobody looks this up if I ever try to get a job somewhere. On that note, you go back and look for it more. There's a lot of stuff in it. This is an in-depth hentai review. I don't get sponsored. I don't have anybody who's willing to monetize me. I'm pretty sure these videos don't even have ads in them. So, I can do whatever the fuck I want. And the good thing is, I don't have this email address hooked up to anything else. So if somebody tries to look around, so if I try to get hired for a job, they are not going to be here. By the way, this I don't think is going to be permanent unless I get like a cool design going. Because I always have the OG over here. Hardhead's just taking a nap. Aren't you? Put your normal mask back on. You don't tell me what to do. I do what I want. But I made you what you are. I don't know what he's talking about. This is just a mask. There's no deep lore to this. The extended universe has been closed. I can't see shit. And you see, the reason I like it so much, and the reason why it's number one on my schedule, that I don't adhere to because I'm a grown man and I can do what I want, is the fact that I should probably plus 10 swag. You see, the reason it's up there is because it has a lot. And it has the absolute reverse, the reverse of nothing, of the one thing I hate in most of the tabs. That, it rhymes with grape. You know what I'm talking about. I hate that tab so much because it lets me know that the girl is not enjoying it. Therefore, I feel bad the entire time. That is not what I'm going for. I find that one, and it's the exact opposite. The girl is having the fucking time of her life, and she's changing whatever parts of her that she wants to make it even better. I salute you. I know your name is Mari, mostly because there are a lot of fucking anime tubers who have covered this particular hentai. Mostly because they are men of culture. God, I can't even see what the timer is. I'm just gonna go on feel. I'm gonna feel what this is, because I can't see shit. I put on these lenses on my eyes to see worse. You ever voluntarily blind yourself just to flex on people with glasses? Get wrecked. Now, the reason I like that so much is because it's varied in a lot of things. There is every single possible usage of the female body used. The male is a dick, but the girl is in charge. Very nice, very cool. Second, I don't know why I'm saying second. I'm not counting any of this. I'm probably going to say 23rd at some point. Catgirl appreciated. All hail the Elon and his very powerful space beat boot powers. We all know that it was his divine intervention. Had to take a breath just so I can. God damn, it's hot in this thing. There's an armor plate. There's a fucking airsoft mask that I had that wasn't nearly as hot as this thing. And this is a book cover. This is a book cover. And it's hot as. It's hot. Sweating my balls off like a preacher. Amen. That's from a comedian. I'm gonna rip that off just because I fucking can. It's easy. It's called pirating. And there is I genuinely want. No joke, no persona going on right now. I legit wanted to know what happens at the end of it. 100%. I legit wanted to know. I didn't like. I sat there and watched the whole thing. I have grown to appreciate the animation and how fluid it is. I feel like saying that the word fluid and hentai in the same sentence is not a good idea. I will retract from that, but let us not forget that it is there. There is so much variety into it, even though there is a bonus episode that only covers about 10 minutes, maybe 8, a little less, of the 20 ish minute series. And I gotta say, it's pretty. It fits a lot of content into it. And even the parts that start to make it seem like the grape is going to happen, it pushes forward and makes the girl in charge to where she's having more fun than anybody else. You start moaning during sex to flex on rapists. I don't even know that one. I never thought of that joke before, but now I'm gonna make sure that I say it every once in a while just to get get wrecked, boy. Now enough of that one. I still can't see the fucking timer. I'm going on feel right now. I don't know what this little timer says. It's all blurry to me. Mostly because there's a light right fucking back there, and it's covering up the white numbers, and I can't read any of it. Number 2 is a classic. I've heard many anitubers refer to it as the Naruto of hentai. And for good reason. There is a lot of views on every single website I went to when we shall pay respects for our lost companions amongst the way and their voluntary absence. Hentai Haven, we salute you and what you did for us. You've turned us to so much. But every rose has its thorns, and we will miss you. On that note, a good replacement for it is HeNtAi. Very, very good website. It gets updated almost every 3 days. Has a new series out, if not just a single new episode. And there's a vast quantity there, but it doesn't have the same humor as the other one where you would go over the tabs and it would have like a sarcastic ass thing. Like, what does DP stand for? You get over it, into PP, into poop. Somebody was paid to write that. Take a step back. The next one on my list, Menakitsu Happening. I'm white. Excuse my broken ass, not white language. Now, this story is all about. The reason I didn't say this, the storyline of the first one, was mostly due to the fact that it's kind of a well-known meme, and these next 3 are not exactly meme material, mostly because they're a bit more on the generic side, mostly because all the crazy shit that I usually find on a normal night, not exactly easy to pronounce, mostly because if it's obscure, the writer decides to put in a 58-word sentence that is just the title. That could have just been the dialogue scene. But no, you gotta make my life harder. Thanks, Obama. No, I'm kidding. I don't give a fuck. My part of this mask is rubbing up against my eyebrows, and it's getting into the thing, and it's scratching me. No matter what mask I have, it always fucking sucks. Now, Manakitsu Happening is all about a guy who decides to work at a manga cafe because he's been kicked out of many of the jobs that he's had before. Or, that being said, the reason he got kicked out of the jobs is because he has a hentai protagonist power, where out of nowhere this lucky pervert ability will kick in, and then his entire any female in his vicinity will not only grow to a heightened state of arousal, like, ooh, you look less and less like a weeb by the second. I think we can fix that. Wanna play Smash Bros? Oh, god damn it, I love not having monetization. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I'm not making anything, but like, who gives a fuck? I didn't plan on making anything in the first place. He kicks in with these lucky pervert abilities, and suddenly, out of nowhere, a kind of Final Fantasy. No, not Final Fantasy. Final Destination, but instead of horrible, horrific death, it's PP. It's big PP time. And now he ends up finding all these characters. The first two are by far my personal favorite. Third one's okay, a little more focused on a single character rather than the others. And then the fourth one is a little less involved. These are only the episodes that I found on HeNtAi, and I watched them for purely research-related reasons. In the words of the patron saint of women, Jiraiya, the Toad Sage, it is all about research. You do not go for the flesh, you go for the mind, and you will be rewarded. That being said, I have not finished Naruto Shippuden. I'm just saying that mostly because I've seen what Jiraiya does in the first Naruto. Now, on to the stuff that's made for men. Naruto is for boys and peasants. This is that real shit, baby! He ends up working there with with a person who ends up being much more akin to the weirder side of the spectrum. And then these two other characters that are much more in line with the vanilla aspect of everything. Hilarity and family-friendly content ensues from the later portions of it. Now, on to the next one, which is a mixed bag, might I say, but it's probably one of the better ones that I enjoy. For plot-related reasons, I'm a man of substance, not a man of... Can't finish this sentence. Substance, that's all I need to know. Substance as in literary work, not drugs. Don't do drugs, I'll kick your ass. On that note, this particular family-friendly film, or films, since there is about 4 episodes of them, this might be shorter, mostly because I still can't fucking see the sign. I can't wipe these off either because it's on the inside. It's on the inside and it accumulates every 2 seconds. This one is called Triple Etchy. Thank you for the English-ish name. This is probably the most profound one that I found as an adult. Adult, in quotation marks, mostly because I'm 19 and I don't fucking count that as an adult. Oh, and if you can see the back, I do have red hair, and I need to cut that off because I don't like that little tail. Yeah. This one is called Triple Etchy, and it's all about... technically, it's a anthology series that dedicates a few episodes apiece. For different things. The first one is about a guy who has to clean up a certain portion of a classroom, goes in there and finds the student council getting down with her bad self by herself, and then he ends up trying to sneak away, fucks up, and then naturally female domination ensues. And that's how it goes. They're both in a very nice relationship. The girl is a little bit more in charge than anything else. If you're noticing a pattern, it's because it's fucking awesome pattern. And God, I am happy everybody I live with is asleep, because this is a weird thing to be openly discussing to a computer that I plan on sharing with a lot of people. Who the fuck am I kidding? If there's one person watching this, that means you are a man of substance, culture, and you're probably a fucking loser. But hey, so am I. And I'm living the dream. Now, there are 2 episodes after the first one where you can actually feel like they're in a good relationship. It's kind of more the girl is in charge rather than the guy. And it seems really cute because you actually notice that they genuinely like each other. The girl is super into everything that's happening, and the guy is also into it for the first 4 times in the first session. After that, when she's like, oh, 10 times in a row, and the guy's like, fucking kill me. Our bodies are not compatible. And then he goes home and comes back the next day. He's like, I'm ready again. She goes at it for about 3 hours, and after about the first 10 minutes, the guy, which I can vouch for, is like, can you please kill me? This was a mistake. Now, it then took on a role similar to that of Halloween, in where a future installment, unlike Halloween, who did the 3rd installment as a different statement, the next 2 were about different things, which I cannot remember, mostly because it is not memorable in the slightest. I don't have it saved up here for when the internet kicks off in the middle of the night. Alright, I have the first episode and the 4th episode. Mostly because it knows that, hey, the first episode was probably the most popular of the entire thing. How about we go back to that? And it continues on with the story. Alright, the guy ends up meeting the girl's parents. The girl's parents realize that he's kind of scrawny. The girl is sad. The guy tries to cheer her up. The mom is supportive. The dad isn't. The mom ends up convincing him that they weren't so different after all. The girl ends up getting pregnant, and you actually see the kid later on in the series after the credits, and the kid is actually fucking adorable. Well, and it actually follows through. I like it when they follow through like that. It's not just like, oh, super unprotected, that is not a good idea, and then at the very end of it is like, wow, I can't wait to do that again. Like, bitch, you go to the doctor and get yourself tested. None of that was protected in the slightest. But this one wasn't, and it deals with the actual future consequences. Being that there is a kid, they're married, they live in the same house now, and they're out of high school, which is the triple-decker. Actually, the quadruple-decker, I don't know, I forgot, I wasn't counting when I said everything, and I have the memory of a pothead goldfish. And the final one on Horror and HeNtAi Part 2, Ugly Bastard Edition, which I hate that fucking tag, and I will never click on it, because it's disgusting. Mostly because the girl is never having a good time. And the last one is probably a personal favorite of mine, mostly because I can see further into the things that a true connoisseur of the finer things are. The finer details. You can see my reflection in the thing. Like I can see me right here. When you look into the void looks back, and it's wearing a fucking book cover as a helmet. Now, the final one is a personal favorite of mine because this one spiraled me into the adult that I am today. Adult, once again. And that is a little known one called Futabu. not to be not to be confused with the Persona 5 character Futaba, who's kind of a good character. I never got to play through the entire game, but I got a little bit past her part, and she was okay. She wasn't like my favorite character or anything. That still goes to the blind. I haven't played it in forever, and I need to go back and play it. The blonde kid who's pretty much just anime Negan with pirate powers for some reason. Now, the reason I like this one is because it's over the top nonsense. But, chicks with dicks. Chicks with dicks are valid. They are a valid expression of the human self. And if they exist in real life, wherever the fuck they are, I just want to let you know, you are protected at all costs by a weird guy with a book cover on his face and Spider-Man goggles. Not the mask, though. It's my mask. You can't have it. Everybody else, fuck you. I don't care about you. Chicks with dicks, on the other hand, we will find you. I will give you all of my rights as a human being so that you have twice as many rights as everybody else, and I'll let you be president, including all of the other possible people that you have made friends with. This is definitely going to be shorter because I caught like a glimpse of what the number is. Now, I know you're probably thinking, well, he just talked about, all the famous ones, the ones that have like a shit ton of views. There's a legit foam in my mouth right now that's building on the outside of this mask, and it's starting to fuck up the way that I breathe. I need to drink something real fast, but I don't have any editing software, so I can't pause the fucking video and then sprint out and go get something. But yes, I'm stating my opinion. This isn't a review. This is me stating my opinion on the four most well-known of the Smexy time. The Nico nipples. If I will say that. It's probably one of my more favorite ones because it is over the top. It involves cute anime women with huge dicks. And that's awesome. I'm not even going to try to deny the fact, like, yeah, I don't really look. I look straight at them and I stare straight at them. That's fucking cool. And that is my honest opinion on all of them. On all four of them. If you have any requests, comments, or overall statements of my vernacular in the description of these priceless artifacts that are art by the highest degree, you can go down to the comment section, write in your comment. You can then print it out, roll it up, fold it in about 4 different pieces, dip it in water, and shove it straight up your ass. Until next time, I have been the RedSon, actually being red this time. And until next time, because this probably isn't going to happen for another year, mostly because I'm lazy and I don't want to do more research, because my shitty little laptop can barely handle 3 tabs being open. So, until next time, the RedSon setting. Bye, guys.